And welcome back to Week 3, Day 2 of the HCS Pro League. I'm Elamite once again, joined with me today, Towie.
Thank you for having me once again.
All right, and of course we've had some incredibly exciting matches so far, with potentially one of the most exciting ones to come. However, if you're at home watching and you think that you would want to participate in the Pro League, or you want to get out there and test your skills, you can actually play in the open circuit. Of course, you can sign up for that. That is at esl.gg/HCSNA Open. Of course, we talked about it before. As far as the standings go, the 7th and 8th place teams at the end of the season will fall to relegation to play the top teams that come out of that open circuit. So there is a lot on the line here. And of course, if you want to get out and test your luck, potentially have games casted by myself or even Towie as well, by all means, go and sign up for that.
We've seen so many players across Halo 5 so far come out of those types of tournaments. Just so many new faces throughout Halo 5. I'm really excited to see what kind of teams and new players we can get out of that.
Absolutely. Now, we do have the biggest match of the night, and I'm just so happy we've had so many great series so far. This is Towie's Evil Geniuses going up against Pistola and Team Envyus. Incredible series and a huge grudge match between these teams as well. Taking a look at Team Envyus, no surprise to anyone, we have Pistola, Mikwin, Rain, and L-Town. And of course, even though Pistola and Mikwin weren't at Nationals, or Worlds, excuse me, we had L-Town, coming off second, and Rain with a top 4 finish as well. So This is still a very big powerhouse team, and of course, one of the teams that is tied for second at this point.
Yeah, Pistola and Mikwin, can't say enough about their Halo careers. So much success from both of those players.
All right, and of course, they are going up against a team that Towie knows a little bit about and has no bias towards whatsoever, and that is going to be Evil Geniuses.
Snipe Down, Lunchbox, Roy, and Suspector. Can't say enough about this team. Really just, all around great guys, great personalities, and phenomenal Halo players.
And great coach that they have as well.
What a great guy.
A good deal. So, want to take a look a little bit further in depth at some of these teams. Let's take a look at Pistola. Now, of course, if you are more new to the scene, Pistola was once on Evil Geniuses and actually was a driving force behind so much of their success and the building of the legacy that is Lunchbox, Roy, and Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, in addition to that, we have, all of the team change history in the past with Pistola on Team Instinct with Lunchbox and Roy, who also saw so much success together.
And then, of course, this is, they played each other before, I'm sure, but this is Pistola's opportunity where he is surrounded by other powerhouse all-star players that can actually take down the teams like Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, and when it comes to Pistola, he is one of the most, if not the most unique player or Halo playstyle in competitive Halo.
He's the wizard. Now let's take a look at some of these game types. After the veto system, we are looking at a Game 1 Truth Capture the Flag, Game 2 Regret Slayer, Eden Strongholds, and then of course Games 4 and 5 Coliseum Capture the Flag with a follow-up Coliseum Slayer. And if these games go anything like last series, we are in store for some exciting matches.
Now, we heard it from L-Town yesterday in his interview. They managed to drop, I believe, that Eden Strongholds game, but it is one of their better game types. On the other side, Evil Geniuses, a 1-2 record on Eden Strongholds so far in Pro League.
All right, well, let's go ahead. The players are ready. We do have Capture the Flag on Truth. First 3 captures to win. Towie, who are we going to start off this? Actually, I'm not asking you that. You're going to go with Evil Geniuses.
Really?
Pistola,
I would never have thought.
The Pistola, I want to start off with him, see what he can do against his old team, Evil Geniuses. Let's hop on board with Ola.
Here right off the start, we see 2 players from both teams pushing towards this pink side, knowing that this camo on spawn will be important. Pistola with the excellent grenade on Lunchbox takes out 2 players, gets that camo, decides to challenge here on Snipe Down, knowing that player was a little weak, trying his best to stay alive. Ends up getting the kill on Snipe Down. That's a huge win if Snipe Down was able to finish the kill there and take out that camo guy. Unfortunately, now Pistola with 30 seconds or so left of that camo hopefully to take advantage of the full time.
And I just want to point out, I know for a fact that each one of those players played that differently because they knew they were battling each other right there. And that was a huge 1v1 grudge match. Eric versus Pistola.
But at the same time, there are two players on Envy just died. They had the advantage in numbers, they had the advantage in map positioning, but two players died, and now we see Pistola managing to stay alive and finishing the kill on the flag guy. That's such a big kill for him. Lunchbox able to finish the kill on Pistola, who was weak after spawning, but EG not getting this flag run out as fast as possible.
All right, I'm going to stay on Pistola here for just another moment, although Envy does have the flag out as well. Both flag runners actually just ran by each other. L-Town picks up the kill on Lunchbox, but nobody on Envy's in position to get a return here.
Yeah, a great team shooting there from EG, expecting the push from Pistola out on the pink side there. Knowing they need to get that flagpole, Roy kind of desperating for the touch, buying his team some time so they can hopefully get some slays and get up there to try to continue this flag standoff.
And look at this, so many nades blowing up there. Lunchbox and Roy just taking turns, dying for going for the flag, trying to prevent a return. I don't know to jump on a player or just stay on board with the flag itself, but Rain picking up a big kill on Suspector. That's going to put several members of Evil Geniuses down. However, Envy, they need to be careful here on this return, but if you ever put two people on a return, it goes so quickly. That is going to be capture number one in favor of Envy.
Yep, but at the same time, they managed to go 3 down there as soon as they cap that flag. They don't really have any control, and it's important that they try to slow things down a bit here off of their spawns.
And just like that, right after that first capture, we also have the new camo getting ready to spawn as well. Lunchbox with the perfect shots on Pistola. This is such a grudge match between these two players.
Yep, with that camo spawning up now, we see Envy on top of the times. That's L-Town picking it up immediately off of spawn and sneaking back to his base here, hoping to try to catch EG off guard.
Wow, big trade there in bubble. So both of those players are going to drop. Rather than shooting and giving away his camo, he doesn't, but Snipe Down spots him, picks up a kill.
An unbelievable play to stay alive. I didn't want to interrupt you, but Eric killing that camo guy when he had that first shot too, and then staying alive when he was one shot.
That was an incredible play, and you had Fuel Rod Cannon in the hands of Lunchbox, but he was in fact taken down as well. Lunchbox going back for the flag once again.
Yeah, but there's two players off of spawn. Envy, they managed to, after spawning car side, immediately push out and get to the base and get that flag run out. EG just not running this fast enough, possibly.
All right, well, Sniped Out is in position here to try and help get a return. Jumps out trying to help kill top center, but isn't able to finish any of those kills. So both flags are out for Evil Geniuses and Envy. Whoever gets his return is essentially going to
3 dead there, though.
Lead.
Yeah, 3 dead for Envy. You see Snipe Down making sure that they don't spawn up car side, making sure that they're pushing in together here to ensure that they get this return. They want to fully collapse under the base. They need to kill all of these players and force spawn them away. I think Snipe Down might have been the only player alive still on EG over there, unable to get that return.
And Pistola picking up a huge kill bottom mid, keeping this flag alive. The Lunchbox and Snipe Down, I felt like that was a little uncharacteristic. They went at two, really different times, almost 4-second differential between each player dropping.
They definitely could have played that a little bit better.
Right, Pistola still with the flag out, and this game is already turning out to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, great team shooting out of Envy there, knowing that they can kind of back up. Ola baiting that area with that splinter grenade in his back pocket, picking up that flag again so he doesn't get it marked, and decided to back up wisely towards his teammate's spawns. He doesn't want EG to know where he is.
And look at him rotating car side as he knows the opponent's pink. And look at this Evil Genius's strategy, taking that flag into pink 2.
Yeah, at the same time, though, we see Snipe Down patiently waiting down at pink 1 for that new camo. Got to know that they're on top of those times without me right now. But still, knowing camo so important on this map, he's able to pick up that fuel rod that kind of gives away his position for a second, but he's able to fall down and stay alive. I want to see an organized push from EG here to take advantage of these power-ups and power weapons that they have.
Wow, great play by Miko, and seeing that camo guy dodging that first fuel rod, but Sniped Down. Great shot there, picking him up in the little cubby, and then a double kill. This is perfect opportunity for Evil Geniuses to tie this game up.
Yep, and this flag guy, he knew that this camo guy was going to be collapsing on him. He had to try to throw it under the base or out front to his spawning teammate's car side. Snipe Down, able to get that return on his own because he has that camo, and the spawns were coming up on the other side.
I almost thought we were going to see an instant double cap here, but looks like Envy just turned and ran all the way towards Evil Geniuses.
So unfortunate
base.
That player spawned up under the base and ends up cleaning up those weak kills. Envy, they decided to give up that flag cap in order to try to push out for a counter cap, and that's why we see this fight coming in right now.
Wow, and Roy Roy tries to get a cap and pull that flag out, but Envy is just all over it, gets the return, now a 2-1 lead. So Snipedown picked up at least a double kill, helped get a flag return, but Envy turns it around.
Yep, Mickwin here with the fuel rod, ends up getting taken down, getting hit by a grenade coming in, kind of anticipating the push there. L-Town also kind of pushing out on his own. Great team shooting from EG here as they collapse on the space trying to get a flagpole.
And look at that, Spectre just doing a great job of controlling Pink 2, but they push up and just get melted before they can grab any control. Now we still have 2 members of Evil Geniuses in the base, and that's unfortunate. Snipedown actually had Sword there. If he was able to get the flag out of that base, that would have been a quick run.
Sure, but that flagpole was still out a little too slow. We saw Lunchbox there for the pull. There was only one player on Envy there to try to stop him. Got shots on Lunchbox, and nobody else was in position to try to run that flag.
Good cross-map shots taken out. Pistola on Pink side as he sees members jumping top center. And that's going to be fuel around the hands of L-Town. He just wants to bring it back to his base at this point.
Yep, and right now that new camo will be spawning up again soon. We see EG. They have 2 players down there on it. I believe it was just picked up and burned by Rain, but we're going to jump on with Roy as he and Lunchbox look to finish Pistola down here at Pink 1.
I don't know. I think that actually was Lunchbox that got away with it.
And he with did. The camo.
And that's flag out as well. Great opportunity, Evil Geniuses, to tie this one up.
Yep, excellent job there to make sure that they're finishing their kills. There is a player on the other team still in the EG base. They're going to need to come back to secure this flag cap.
And Lunchbox, I like these angles. Not able to pick up the kill, but don't worry, he's got help there. They haven't been able to get that flag return yet.
Yeah, but at the same time, they are still getting kills. They got just now 2 dead. This one player on Envy ended up getting the return on their base. They got the flag all the way across the map and end up capping this flag. EG caught off guard, out of position, and unaware that that flag was being run back.
I wanted to go in third person so we could kind of see what was going to happen there, but there was no time. They instantly got a return after Lunchbox had dropped it, and were already relaying it across bottom center. And look at these stats, Towie.
Yeah, Snipedown ahead of the pack with 23 kills. I'm not sure on the total amount if EG was outslaying Envy there, but you know, the objective efficiency really from Envy, phenomenal that game. I mean, they had some unorthodox flag runs and flag routes, but really taking advantage of when EG wasn't in the right positions to stop the flagpole.
They actually deeply outslayed Envy, but had no ability to really relay those flags.
That last flag cap especially should not have been allowed.
It should not once. And even the second one when they had fuel rod and stopped it. Let's take a look at some of the replay and highlights here from this game 1. 3-1 victory over Evil Geniuses in Capture the Flag Truth, while Evil Geniuses outslayed Envy.
Really just a great job here from Envy to have the awareness of where everyone on the map was, both on their team and on EG, and knowing when they can take advantage of players being out of position to run those flags back into open areas towards their spawning teammates. You know, they had a lot of relayed flag caps.
It really felt like Envy never actually had map control.
Yeah,
but they just got 3 caps.
Yeah, no dominant flag routes, no overslaying of spawns. They had a few unorthodox flag routes relayed off of, you know, situational control, possibly, that gave them a convincing win. 3-1.
I mean, one of the flag caps came from Snipedown getting a flag return and a double kill, and then running out Pink side of the base to see the flag running directly at his face once again.
Yep.
So Envy, wow, that was a complete turnaround from what we've seen from them before. True CTF, while getting outslayed that badly, as a really impressive performance.
Yeah, the biggest thing to take away for sure is they have to have communicated that before the match, especially. They know that when they don't have control, the other team has control and is collapsing, that those players coming up, they're going to overextend towards the other base. We saw that multiple times. 2 different players on Envy would spawn up on the car side of the map. They would then push off their spawns towards the EG base, are able to get there, get a flagpole out well before the flag was coming in to score. You know, so often you're going to see that flag coming in to score as the other team's trying to possibly stop it, possibly get a flag throw out. Envy, way ahead of that. They're going to get into that base first. They get the flagpole out, and so often in that game, they had the flag coming in towards their base while EG was trying to just get it out still.
Right. It looked like Envy was just a step ahead as far as speed and how quickly they're able to just know what needs to be done. They were heavily outslayed, but yet it felt like that was in favor of Envy the entire time.
Yeah, really, it has to come down to awareness, especially because clearly EG, they had the kills for the flags. You know, they had enough kills to secure their caps, but they let guys slip by. Envy especially, they knew where they could move on the map. They knew what routes they could take to take advantage of, EG possibly not watching that, possibly being out of position, and it really showed at the end of the game.
Now, we do have Game 2 coming up as Regret Slayer. Now, we've talked about it many times before. I know you don't like to think about it, but we saw them fall in that CLG game, Regret Slayer. Like, what has Evil Geniuses done since then to step this up?
It's also important to note, however, that while we did lose that game pretty handily to CLG, I think we beat CLG on that 2 or possibly 3 times in a row. That was the game type we had the most success against them on. So it's going to be really important to try to set the pace of the game. This is going to be the fastest game type that we have. Regret Team Slayer with that overshield bottom center. Sometimes teams will opt to go for that overshield or go up top. Who do you want to see off the start?
You know what? Regret Slayer, and after those big numbers we just saw from Snipedown, let's go ahead and get started with him. He had 23 kills this game, last game, way more than anyone else on the map, so I'm expecting big things from him once again.
And immediately off the start, it looks like Envy opting to not even go for the overshield and just try to get that top center control.
And I know Snipedown's happy about that. Grabs a free overshield, picks up 2 easy kills, and just kind of creating opportunities for his teammate now. Mikuin. That's the longest ground pound I've ever
easily.
seen.
And another ground pound.
What?
They're coming in out of everywhere.
I think Envy's just trolling at this point. What is going on? Back-to-back ground pounds, 1 to escape, 1 to go for a kill. These guys, I don't even know what they're doing.
That was pretty wild, but still a good job from EG. They got that OS. Clearly Snipedown buying everyone time. Just important right now, while he's up top center, to not try to overextend. I don't think he has any teammates around him.
Right, but even with all that being said, we are all tied up at 5-5, or now just taking the lead 6-5 here. And look, Snipedown, just so good on this map. He knows every jump that he needs to make, how to get top center quickly. A little aggressive here, unless he can do that.
Perfect. I was about to say, I'm so proud of Eric. I saw him, as I said, don't overextend. He backs up, waits to get up, back up to top center, pushes in with his teammates, and hits that perfect. All of Envy now on spawn. They're coming up at red base with EG full map control up top center.
And you heard Towie, he is so proud of Eric. Even though you made a bad play, you made it work because you hit perfect shots. So congratulations.
That's what
nice
happens
job
when you can shoot like Snipedown.
Picking up
that
another
double kill, looking to try to, without any ammo, close out and finish collapsing on this base. He's trying to make sure that this guy doesn't get his shield back. Ends up finishing the kill. Important for him to try to stay alive here. We really need to just regroup, get up top. EG kind of losing map control on this push here. Snipedown finishing another weak kill, but no team really with top control.
And that's a killing spree. I'm glad we started off with Snipedown. He is 8-1 right now, just going off. Huge kills, and you know what we just saw before is he just won a 1v2 battle and stayed alive. Like, he was getting help. Brain was.
Absolutely. And right there, he was waiting for a player to drop onto the base, possibly. You know he's on top of this OS as well. It's coming up right now as he tries to challenge that. Unable to get it, but Roy getting that full overshield off spawn.
Let's go ahead and jump on board with him. And that full overshield.
Clearly, Envy all in position to team shoot that guy. Now, neither team really with control. Obviously, Envy with the advantage to try to get up top earlier.
That overshield died before I could even switch to his screen. So we'll hop back on board with Snipedown, who looks like he just has Pistola's number this game.
Yeah, but Eric right there, that play from him, crouching, jumping, staying off radar, putting himself in a position to finish that kill, and now coming right back to try to apply some pressure.
And he's chasing a no shields guy, and he's got the storm rifle, the advantage in that 1v1 up close range, and once again picks up another kill. Now they're only up by 4, and I'll want to take a look at the stats, but Towie, tell us what Snipedown stats are right now.
Well, his stats right now, he is 10-2, but he is making these rotations on the bottom of the map, and that's important to point out. EG, for a while now, has not had full control. He is caught off guard by a player coming behind him. Envy, they're up top. Not much for EG right here. There's not going on any huge runs.
And only a 2-kill lead now at this point. Mikuin just picking up a quick double. Go ahead and hop on board with Mikuin and see what he can do with this carbine.
Yep, and he's sitting up here at the top arch side, jumping on this ledge to get a better angle. You see that ledge right to his right there. You can hop on top of that, gets a little bit of a better angle across map to try to help his teammates or finish kills.
And look at that. It's just so powerful cross map. You can perfect people running up that street. Just take out Snipedown, just takes out Roy, and now all of a sudden we're tied up.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm not sure if all of EG is spawning up at this map. They're kind of split spawns because Envy, they really didn't push in fast enough. As we see Roy coming on top arch, he spawned at the opposite base. Mikwin, he just killed Roy across the map. They didn't block those spawns. That's on Envy. Right now, they're losing control of top center because they weren't forcing those spawns.
And now we've got the Plasma Caster up as well as OS about to spawn. So this game still tied up at the midway point. This next overshield, you want to see both teams get down to start focusing
Yep,
on.
I like this play out of Snipedon too. He is in your face, aggressive, opening up the area of the map for his teammates to possibly pick up that overshield.
Pistola trying to grab a kill. Lunchbox being taken out, but that OS is going to go in the hands of Roy. We'll hop on board with him. This game is still anybody's.
Yep, trying to finish the kill there. We see L-Town with that new Plasma Caster. Going to get cleaned up or put to one shot by other EG members. That's 2 down now for Envy. It's important to try to play aggressively on these spawns.
Right now, looks like Evil Geniuses does have map control, but look, Envy doing a great job at not giving away any free deaths, just hiding around, waiting for teammates, trying to spot out Evil Geniuses.
Yep, and this is all stemming from one player who was able to sneak through the needles on spawn. The first player that came up, he got through to the other side of the map so that all 4 players on Envy, they weren't stuck at the same base.
And Mikwin missing a couple shots there, sniped down, not backing down, charging out, getting the kill on him as well. Now we got Pistola with the Plasma Pistol, so we've seen just how effective this gun can be. Misses that first shot and gets taken out by Roy's grenades. Let's go ahead and take a look at Roy, see if he's able to stay alive through this, and he is not. Towie, who are we hopping on board with now?
I think we got to go with Lunchbox. He's trying to play aggressively right now. Probably, as of course we switch to him, he dies. But I like the play style that he's having right now, just aggressive, trying to finish that one-shot guy. Snipedon also cleaned up just 3 Envy players weak in this base right now. Suspector and Roy, they're going to have to really slow this down and try to wait up top for their teammates to spawn.
And how did I know you were going to choose Evil Geniuses there? So I'm going to hop on board with Envy and see what they've got in source. They just tied this one up again.
Yep, L-Town here trying to cross map with that BR while he is up top. Ends up getting cleaned up. That's a great finish from EG. That player could have done a lot of damage if he was able to stay alive.
All right, the new Plasma Caster is spawning. This weapon can absolutely be very impactful in these games, picking up multiple kills with them.
Yeah, this is important here, though. We see all 3 players for Envy in this blue base. Nobody's gotten out. EG with top center control, this new overshield coming up. It's important to see how both teams try to play this.
And this is going to be the last overshield of the game. With how fast this game's being played out, whoever gets this one is going to have the last one of the game. And Mikwin gets a full overshield.
Yep, going to have to switch on board with him. I'm not sure if that one-shot player ended up getting finished or not. Lunchbox taken out. That overshield almost gone, but ends up being gone now from that grenade. EG had up top control, but lost it there when that overshield came up.
Now Roy also has Plasma Caster, if you can see from the kill feed there. Let's go ahead and jump back on board with him as I want to see whether or not they're going to be able to close this out. 2 members taking out both of them.
Yeah.
44-43 kill lead. Oh, and L-Town just barely surviving.
Yep, every single life matters right now. So important to slow things down. And that player that we see these player outlines, these guys in the game, they do not. 2 players on Envy on this side of the map and 2 players across. Split spawns, that's not good for EG, especially when they can push from multiple angles.
Well, it looks like Envy's the one who's getting collapsed on. Look at him dropping down the blades, just running, trying to stay alive for as long as possible. It actually looks like it's working too.
Yeah, you have to wonder what the communication is here. Right now we got 2 dead, 3 dead. They're pushing up top. There is a player hiding behind Roy. I'm not sure if he knows he's there. Pushing up top arch side, ends up getting completely melted by a player behind him. That was a great play from whoever that was on Envy.
Mikwin, and he hit for so long. He didn't shoot or anything until his teammate actually committed to the fight.
Yep, and that's going to be Envy taking a lead now, 48-47, all coming back from that last guy that stayed alive.
That was incredible play. Mikwin waiting, seeing if there was going to be a second player following Roy out. There was not, but as soon as his teammates started fighting, rather than going for a back smack or anything like that, he starts shooting the player in the back to make sure he gets as much damage on him as possible.
This is not good for EG, all trapped in this base. Envy collapsing, only needing 1 kill. Going to win the game off of that play from Mikwin, getting them top center control there. They melted the top arch guy, Roy. They team shooted another guy top center and had an instant advantage with top center control.
And look at these stats. 50-48 win in favor of Envy, who now takes a 2-0 lead. You can't see Towie's faces, but it does not look good right now. Mikwin, 15 kills, 14 assists, and 11 deaths. Now on the other end, big numbers from Snipedon. 19 kills, 10 assists, 11 deaths. He was hot to start off that game, carried it on throughout the entire game, but it looks like it was just not enough to overpower Envy.
Yeah, you can't say enough about Envy really playing that situationally very well. You know, we saw them get those split spawns there at the end and try to do their best to capitalize on that.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the replays here from that match, and what an exciting game 1 and game 2 that we've seen so far from this series. This has turned out to be a good one.
Yep, and that one guy towards the end, I think it was Mikwin picking up that overshield. That would have been huge if that ended up being a burn.
The splinter nade that they threw, I think it even was Snipe Down that threw that splinter nade, was so close from preventing them from grabbing it. And I mean, of course, what happens in the middle of the game affects all the way throughout the rest of the game, but like hypothetically, if they did not get that overshield, this could have absolutely gone in favor of Evil Geniuses.
Yep, both teams, Envy coming out ahead in a very, very close game, but both teams had opportunities to run away with this and win.
And we just saw it, Envy, like, no team was able to pull away or run away with it. And it all came down to the very end. And let's keep in mind, was it not 47-44 in favor of Evil Geniuses?
Yes, but at that same time, that was right when they had gotten those split spawns. So there were two players on both sides of the map. They're able to go up 47-44, but those EG players, they were all in a base. That's not good. They were stuck in that base. That last player alive for Envy, he knew what to do, and that was Mikwin, and he hid on that ledge. We saw Roy on his screen. He was running up towards top arch side. Didn't know he was there. Mikwin waiting to team shoot with him, with, I believe, Pistola on the red bubble. Finish that guy, finish the next guy up top center, and they have instant map control, only down 1 kill, clearly carry that into a win.
Rarely are there maps where you can see one small, minuscule play like Mikwin hiding in the corner on the right on that platform area that can change the outcome of a game, and that created an opportunity for Envy to go 6-1 to close out that game. Now, Towie, we are going into a game 3 with Evil Geniuses down 0-2, and of course you can all see Towie's face now. What do they need to do to win this?
I mean, they had that game. They know that they probably should have won that game, especially with the lead 47-44. But, you know, everyone on the team, veteran player, it's just one game at a time. You never worry about the series. Just focusing on that next game, talking things over, making sure that we're on the same page with what we're trying to accomplish in game, you know. You have obvious strategies. Situationally, players know what to do, but in general, you want to have a focus going into each game. You want to know this is what we're going to focus on in this situation, and when the other team has control, this is what we're going to try to focus on in that situation. So just making sure we're going over those types of things again before the game starts, and, you know, just leaving these other games behind us. You know, we're down 2-0, but still 3 more games to play.
It's over. And let's not forget, Envy is a team that we've seen actually struggle to close out a series before, and they are the only ones that we've seen so far that have experienced a reverse 3-0 sweep that went against them.
That's
so,
true.
Evil Geniuses, if anybody can scratch off those 2 losses, put them behind you, and come in strong and perhaps turn around and do another 3-0 against a team, it's going to be Evil Geniuses.
Yep. This is painful to watch, though. This is hard. You saw my face. I don't know if everyone at home watching was able to see that, but that was very painful to watch the end of that game.
It was very exciting on my end. I got a lot of enjoyment after looking at Towie's face after they brought back that game 2 lead that they had. But let's go ahead and we have the players ready. Go ahead and take a look at the map here. We are going into game 3, Strongholds on Eden.
Here on Eden Strongholds, we see the outside blue band camo spawning up at tower. This game type is going to revolve around these power weapons, rockets coming up outside, and of course being aggressive and forcing those spawns like we've seen so often throughout tonight.
All right, well, I want to get on board with Pistola again this game. We saw great things last game in so many different 1v1s that these players were getting into. A little uncharacteristic from what you generally see even, but right off the start here, several members dropping.
Great teamwork from Envy there, especially from Pistola, and I think that's L-Town to stay alive. They had that guy weak. The camo guy for Envy was weak. Lunchbox unable to finish that kill. Staying alive with that camo is huge.
That's a quick early advantage here now in the favor of Envy, and Evil Geniuses really needs to get this one turned around. Now Snipe Down tries to get over and take out that top catwalk, but he instantly drops as well.
Yep, that's going to be 2 dead, 3 dead now for EG, that last player able to finish a kill on Mikwin. That's going to be Lunchbox. They know where he's at. Maybe a possible team nade coming in on Pistola, putting him to one shot, able to back off, but that's going to create some time for these spawning EG players to move around the map. We see Pistola somehow catching Roy off guard there, completely unaware that they were going to be around him, trying to contest this stronghold, but is taken out.
And that was pretty good play by him. You know, maybe either whether or not Pistola wasn't called out or Roy didn't hear the call out, Pistola was able to survive, get away, and catch a player not looking at him. Now, this is control going in favor of Evil Geniuses, and they're going to be able to contest and reset this bend hill.
Great job there out of Snipedown. That's 3 dead. Last guy alive will fall. It looks like 4 dead, taking advantage of every opportunity, forcing these spawns. They know they're going to be coming up at red. It looks like Snipedown able to stay alive here. I think by pushing into red, he's going to force these spawns across the map. So we see with these player outlines, 1 player up at tower, and the rest of the Envy team trying to push outside towards blue.
And just like that, Envy gets captured or gets caught off guard going for hills individually, and Evil Geniuses just abuses it and sets up a triple cap for a moment.
We see that's 2 dead now as L-Town is trying to take this catwalk. He gets the kill, but will not be able to take that stronghold while 2 of his teammates are down.
Oh, and Roy outplaying Pistola in that situation. Perfect shots by him. That's going to give Roy a reward as well. Put rockets in his hand, and now he's going to start grabbing some kills.
A big kill. Roy winning that individual battle, getting those rockets. 1 shot and stays alive to come over and then rocket the OS guy, making him burn it. What a huge swing of events right there.
And like we said, 1 game at a time. It's not over till it's over. Evil Geniuses is no stranger to long, extended series. They've been doing it for years, and it looks like they're bringing it this game as well.
And right now we see EG forcing them to spawn at tower. We have 2 of them get the triple cap, and Envy looks like Roy able to get the reset. He died, but EG still getting those kills and continuing to accumulate way more points than you would otherwise with that triple cap.
And Snipedown grabbing the kill there. Rockets were still down in hill, but he ends up dropping several
really
members.
needs to stop the bleeding right now. This score is accumulating at way too fast of a rate. We see Suspector here trying to defend that catwalk stronghold. It's important that EG try to just give that up and recognize they're not going to be able to stop it, aren't in position, but can still hold map control.
And that was already the 2nd triple cap that we've seen out of Evil Geniuses this game, and they are building quite a comfortable lead.
Yep, and we see Suspector still trying to play this out a little patiently here to defend this stronghold. He knows that Ola's in here, had a splinter grenade in his back pocket waiting for anyone that might be pushing out. We see Mikwin as well across the map, anticipating those spawns and baiting those players out to the open area, finishing an easy kill there on Roy and laying down some cover fire for the rest of his team.
And it looks like several members of Evil Geniuses is going to drop there. Great positioning by Mikwin, getting some shots in the back, keeping control here for as long as possible. Now we have rockets coming up in about 10 seconds now, so look for both teams to start rotating over there.
Yeah, right now they don't have the triple cap Envy, so they're not accumulating time nearly as fast as EG was when they had control, but these rockets are going to be used to break that setup. You need to focus on these rockets right now if you're EG.
Oh, and Lunchbox getting caught off guard, checking towards red base when Mikwin was actually top catwalk towards blue. It's another big play from him. He's been here for quite some time now.
Yep, and we just saw L-Town taken down for that overshield. I'm not sure if any player was able to get away with it. A big double kill out of Mikwin, going for the challenge here on Snipedown, and gets the triple kill. Perfect out of Mikwin. Unbelievable shots. The BR clearly doing more damage than the pistol. Envy, they have complete control right now, but they haven't pushed in for that triple cap. They're still not accumulating enough points for having control for this long.
And I'm not going to let you give him too much credit. That was Snipedown getting outplayed in that situation. That was a reverse on top of everything.
Yep, on top of that, well, you can, of course, do that. Envy, they have had power weapon control as well. We see Mikwin still with empty rockets in his back pocket. Those are the 10-minute rockets. His teammate Pistola, he had the 8-minute rockets. Mikwin staying alive for so long right now, being as difficult to kill as possible, and making these rotations to challenge these strongholds that EG are trying to take.
And this game, all of a sudden, with that comfortable lead completely gone, and Camo now in the hands of Rain. We'll hop on board with him. They're about to tie this one up.
Yeah, but this Camo has to have been pretty late. I'm not sure what, yeah, he just ran out of Camo. He's had it the whole time. EG really at a disadvantage to the power weapons and power-ups right now in this Eden Stronghold game.
And wow, look at that. 4 members down. That was a 4 for 0. And look at the slays. Evil Genius is getting completely outslayed this game. And now the lead of Game 3 with a 2-0 series lead, or match count win, lead going in favor now of Envy.
You can't say enough about not going for the triple cap, though. I feel like Envy, they've had control for a significantly longer time than EG when they did have control, only up by a few points in the Strongholds. You know, they could have gone for that triple cap. You accumulate time twice as fast if you have that triple cap. You get 2 points for every 1 you would otherwise.
Right, and based on just the weapon distances that are effective and, you know, clamor, sprint, thrust, all those things, it's so easy to rotate back and forth and collapse on different teams. So this triple caps are something you will see a lot, especially out of teams like CLG.
A good play there from Lunchbox. He knew that they had the rockets. He kind of baited the OS there, knowing they were going to watch that, baited Pistola to come out and end up getting the kill on him. Suspector gets that full overshield. This is huge for EG.
That was both rockets and overshield now going in the hands of Evil Geniuses, and now a triple cap in their hands as well. That may have very well determined the outcome of this game here right now.
However, while they do have all the power-ups and power weapons, not much map control to force these spawns here, as we see a player coming behind Lunchbox. There was one spawned up at red, one spawned up at blue, and at tower. Envy kind of all over the place. 2 players trying to take this red nest stronghold will stop the bleeding to cut that triple cap. EG definitely not with much map control anymore.
And Mikwin picking up several kills, so lots of Evil Geniuses members dropping, although you've got some respawns already. Lunchbox trying to get across bottom center, and looks like he will in fact do that. Catwalk going down as well, so back in control of Envy. The time will start going up once again.
Yep, finally they are able to take that Catwalk stronghold, but they did contest it for quite a long time, buying EG more time. As we see Roy, I think the only player there, wisely knowing he needs to hop out and can't really challenge that, as his teammates are able to push around him while he buys them time.
And that's the difference between good players and great players. Roy knowing, even though it was so close to capping, he was not going to get that and couldn't give up another death if they have any chance of bringing this one back. But look, no one in position, and Lunchbox getting perfect, not going for the hill when probably really shouldn't have, or taking another angle. Mikwin just been putting shots down and cover fire this entire game.
Just great shots from Mikwin there. Envy as a whole are just applying a lot of pressure right now to these spawns for EG. They don't have tower control. They finally just now clear Envy out of tower, are able to push in, possibly get this Catwalk stronghold, but Envy just applying a lot of pressure to these spawns up in blue, making it really difficult for EG.
They almost had an opportunity to push out when Mikwin ran out of ammo, but he grabbed the light rifle, but quickly being taken out.
Yep.
Whether or not Rain gets the reset, and he does.
Unbelievable. He's able to get that reset and stay alive for so long. I was going to say these rockets did just come up. I'm not sure who has them, but Envy so close to closing out this game right now.
And they just took the lead. This one is so back and forth, and every one of these games has been extremely back and forth, but if Envy edges this one out, but looks like, okay, Evil Genius just...
Rain finishes
wow.
the kill. L-Town had the overshield, manages to contest that red nest stronghold for enough time to buy his teammates more time to come over here right now. Not sure if they're going to be able to get this. 2 players are able to get it. They're both killed immediately. That's going to be 3 dead now for Envy. EG desperately needs this stronghold, and they need some advantages. All of Envy, this is not good for Envy. Spawning up at blue so far. Only able to really contest this Catwalk stronghold. The score 98-95. They need to contest this Catwalk if they have any chance of winning this game. It looks like they will be able to.
3 members.
2 players from EG are in the stronghold, but one player contested it long enough.
All they had to do was get in there and prevent Evil Geniuses from getting the secure, and they did exactly that. They knew exactly how they wanted to play it. They got in the stronghold on the top Catwalk. Even though there were 3 members of Evil Geniuses there, they weren't able to pick up the kills and actually capture it. 100 to 95. I cannot believe how this series just played out.
You sound really excited. I'm not very excited at all.
I see you do not look excited. I love watching good games, and look, we've talked about it so many times before. A series score 3-0 doesn't necessarily tell the whole story, because these were 3 of the closest games we saw all night.
Arguably, EG should have won game 1. They outslayed. They of course. They
Towie
could have played it so much better, but Envy coming out and really clutching up when it really mattered towards the end of these games, winning 3-0.
All right, so you heard it from Towie first. EG should have won this series, but let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights from this game, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the stats that we see. Mikwin, 23 kills, and I can't even imagine his damage dealt this game, because he was just running out of ammo and gun after gun after gun, just laying down shots. And of course, Pistola, 20 kills and 7 captures. That is a lot of captures, especially considering the next highest is Snipedown with 5. But hey, I mean, Snipedown doing a lot of objective work this series as well.
Yep, unbelievable shots here out of Mikwin. Envy really holding control for a significantly longer period of time in this game. EG showing what they can do when they hold that triple cap, but not enough to close out this game as they're able to contest there at the end.
It was essentially tied at 95, and they just couldn't get the capture. Snipe down so close. Lunchbox almost picked up the kill, and the last game of the night going 3-0 in favor of Team Envyus. Team Envyus beating Evil Geniuses, Team Envyus beating Renegades last week. If you ask me who the second best team in the league is, I'll tell you Team Envyus is. Right.
No comment from me on that.
All right. Now, of course, Evil Geniuses still in pretty good position as far as overall series score, and of course, the main goal is to get top 4. It doesn't matter what place you're in the top 4, because if you are going to finals, your goal is to win.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. As long as you're in the top 4 towards the end of the season there, you will advance to the Season 1 finals. So EG, I believe, still staying in the top 4, but Envy really showing up and closing out these games extremely strong, finishing off the series 3-0.
All right, well, we are going to get an interview set up here with the players. Going to be looking at taking a few words, or speaking a few words with Rain here from Team Envyus, of course. And just a fantastic series. I can't wait to hear his thoughts on how this played out.
Yeah, it's such a big difference, too, when it comes to standings and overall placements towards the end of the season, your match win percentage. Losing a series 3-0, winning 3-0, losing 3-2, big differences. So for Envyus to not drop a game against EG, this is the first time that our teams have played, but to not drop a game, even if they lose the next series, if they at least take a game, it's still a win overall for their team.
Right, I see that. Now, we do have the interview ready. We will have Rain here. Now, there won't be a video, but we'll be able to hear his beautiful voice. Rain, are you there?
Gentlemen, how you guys doing?
Doing pretty well.
I'm not really doing very great. I mean, I'll be honest with you. This is not the best that I've ever done before.
This kid is so salty. I can't even believe it right now, all series long. Rain, first of all, congratulations. Phenomenal series. One of my favorite series that I've seen since Pro League has started. And of course, we've said it many times before, series score doesn't necessarily tell you everything that happened in a game. What were your thoughts going into this match? And then, of course, with how it played out, how you guys are feeling now?
Well, listen, this was a huge match for us. We knew going into this, EG always plays us tough. It's like a boxing match, man. It goes back and forth. Punches are thrown. Games go either way. They get crazy at the end. It's how it's always been with us playing EG. But we also knew right now we're playing our best Halo, and we don't feel like any team can beat us when we're playing our best Halo.
Yeah, I mean, you really showed it after those last few games. Just closing out exceptionally strong. Obviously, EG had control a few times, but all that matters is the end score. So.
Now, I would love to hear, every single game, the communication and what was happening, because they were all just so intense and so close. Tell us a little bit about the end of that last game. As I saw, you guys noticed that you just had to contest the hill, and everyone was just charging, trying to prevent it from being captured. What was that like in chat or communication?
Yeah, I actually didn't have my best slaying game that game. My teammates had 23 kills. I had 8. But I had 17 assists or something like that. It was stupid. The communication was really frantic, but at the same time, we all know exactly what we're doing inside of that communication. So it was pretty much just a mad dash. Sal made a good play at the end on catwalk, getting in for a sec, allowing me to make that jump behind the old camo and actually get into their own contest for the win.
And then a little bit in the game 1 as well. I'm really curious because I didn't do the math, but you guys got outslayed heavily by Evil Geniuses, but still won that game 3-1.
Absolutely, and that's what we do. We try to be the most objective, efficient team in the game, and that means simply outplaying your opponents. It doesn't mean outslaying, it just means doing the objective better, and that's all we had to do that game. We just saw opportunities and took it.
Yeah, that also showed in Game 3. You guys made some fantastic rotations. For Game 2, though, it looked like EG was going to come out on top until that last player alive managed to stay alive. What was that like after the game?
What was Mikwin saying?
I think it was Mikwin who stayed alive there, ended up hiding, waiting, playing so patiently. Can you tell us what that was like?
Oh, let me tell you, Mikwin gets pumped up when he makes a play, and he made a play right there. It was huge. There was a lot of yelling, a lot of "let's go," with a little more language in there that I can't throw in there in this.
Well, we appreciate that.
Yeah, I got you guys. But yeah, there was a lot of hype going into Game 3 for sure.
All right. Now, you guys, like in my opinion, I said this game was going to distinguish, or this series was going to distinguish who the second best team in the league is. Now that I'm confident enough to say that I feel like it's you guys, what are you guys going to do now to prepare for CLG going forward?
Listen, we have to practice, and we have to have intense practices, and we have to have better quality practices than they do consistently every day of the week. That's the only way any team is going to take them down, is having better practices more consistently than them.
It's true.
That's a very, very accurate answer. I couldn't think of anything better to say myself.
Well, Rain, it's awesome to hear where your head is at. Obviously, you guys are all here. You're all focused, and you guys have the skill to absolutely come out and do it, and you prove that here in this series.
Absolutely, gentlemen. It's been an honor.
Yeah, thank you. Congratulations on the big win, as upset as I am about it.
Yeah, sorry about that, Tal.
That's
Sorry
okay.
about-
All right, well, I appreciate it because I've gotten a lot of enjoyment out of Tal this weekend. So
This was your favorite series of the weekend. You guys can't always see my face during all the matches, but as soon as the games are ending, he just looks over at me and sees this instant feeling of regret that I have. Like, maybe if I wasn't here, like maybe this whole last few days might have been a mistake. I don't know. I could have impacted things if I stayed home. We'll never know, but you
Towie,
enjoyed it.
living a life full of regret.
On regret.
Commonly's
Done,
the
we
problem.
lost.
Not you guys. Commonly's the problem.
Oh, goodness. All right, Rain.
All right, guys. Thank you for the interview. Have a good day, guys.
Thanks
you
so
too.
much. Well, that was awesome. Appreciate him joining us. And what a great
course.
guy. And I love where his head is at. He knows exactly what it's going to take to beat CLG, and it's going to be to outwork CLG. And whether or
Yeah.
not they can, that's the real question.
Their mentality is where it needs to be, especially to overcome, such a ridiculously big obstacle of taking down CLG, one of the most dominant teams we've really seen throughout all of Halo. At any period in time, their level of dominance over the competition at the time is historic, and you have to practice consistently more than them in order to catch up to them.
It's true. Now let's take a look at Week 3, Day 2's scores and exactly what we've seen going forward. Kind of a surprise, although I'm sure to CLG and CLG fans it wasn't. 3-0 victory for them over Renegades. An amazing series going in favor of Enigma 6, a 3-2 victory over Team Liquid.
And then in match number 3, we saw Optic Gaming versus Allegiance, the Green Wall, showing up big when it mattered for them, securing another win, 3-2 in game number 5. And then in the final match, Team Envyus versus Evil Geniuses, not the best showing there for our team.
For Evil Geniuses, no. For Envyus, great job. Let's take a look at the current standings and see where everyone falls into place after the end of Week 3. Counterlogic Gaming 6-0 with a 95% win rate, and of course that 5% missing piece there was an amazing performance from Optic Gaming. Of course, coming in second now. Hard to argue anything different. 5-1 record for Team Envyus, followed up by Renegades at 4-2, and now Evil Geniuses and Enigma 6 sitting at 3-3. Only the top 4 teams go to the finals. This is going to be quite the showing going forward.
Yep, it's important to note that differentiation there in the map percentage. We have won more games. However, looking down, Optic Gaming have moved up to 6th place with their win tonight, 2-4. Allegiance dropping to 7th, and Team Liquid still looking for their first win at 0-6.
All right, now, season's not over though. We still have more matches coming up next week. Let's take a look at those. Evil Geniuses facing off against Renegades. Now, I think I said one match was kind of do or die at this point. Well, if you're trying to go to the finals, this is going to be one of those do or die matches for Evil Geniuses. Match 2, we're going to have Allegiance going up against Team Liquid. And let's keep in mind, these are just as important. With Optic Gaming beating Allegiance today, there's a lot on the line for those relegation and who's got their secured spot for next season.
Both teams definitely need a win there. Looking ahead to match number 3, Counterlogic Gaming versus Envy. That is going to be an outrageously good match. Both of the best teams in the Pro League right now. And then closing out match number 4, we have Enigma 6 versus Optic Gaming.
And of course, to take a look at the standings, the schedule, or any other information you need about the Pro League, make sure you take a look at proleague.com/Halo to find all that information there. And of course, we talked about it briefly before, the open circuit, not too late to join. You can sign up for that at esl.gg/HCS Open. That's going to do it for us here today. This has pretty much been my favorite day of casting, some of the best matches that I have seen in Halo 5. Amazing series. Tao, thanks for joining us so much.
Happy to be here.
I know you're not the happiest right now,
Not
but
happy
hopefully
right now, but you know,
things
happy
will turn
to be
around
here for you guys.
Well, we appreciate that. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We had an amazing time here. Don't forget that Week 4 is coming up next week, and we have the transfer period as well. So a lot of action to stay tuned for. Appreciate everything, and have a good night.